Hey, let's break out a M800 and a set of yellow Crocs and call it a fun day of ink penning. I'm gonna get right down to the point. The point is the pen is dead sexy from any distance. I mean, it really is a beautiful pen. But like everything else in life, there are some items that I'm not in love with, and I'll talk about them here. In specific, let's go ahead and do things like, I don't know the answer to this. How does this do with translucence? Ah, it does it well. I probably did this when I first got the pen, and I really just couldn't remember. I've only had it for a little over a week. It was a birthday present. Thank you, wife. I absolutely loved it. Translucence. This is a place where I have a 140 and it is very translucent, so you can basically use it as an ink window. Not this. Even with a flashlight shining through it, it is very difficult to see through in comparison to my other Pelikans, and that's just apparently the way it's going to be. So fit, finish, love the fit, love the finish of the pen, but expected more. If you're going to have this pen and you're going to compare it up against any $150 pen, you're going to love it. You're going to think, my God, something, oh no, it lives up to that. You know, it's magnificent. But if you've got a bunch of other really high-end pens, and I've got about 15 or 20 very high-end pens that I'm constantly comparing things to, it is not outstanding. It is just very, very good. So let's take a look. Some of the things that I would really be interested in the fit and finish, I would want to know, hey, how are the inscriptions in this pen? Well, you can take a look. I'm showing you right there. They are pretty nice. Are they up to the snuff of, for instance, hate to always be pointing them out, but it's an easy go-to. Take a look at the inscription, fit, and finish. I mean, there's actual hatchwork, micro hatchwork inside of the letters on a Mont Blanc. It's gorgeous. Okay, well, Mont Blanc's got a very plain Jane clip and not a Pelikan. Pelikan basically has the bill of a Pelikan. You can see they did a little piece for grabbing your clothing right there, or the edge of a shirt to hold on. They made it look just like the filling portion of a Pelikan's bill. You can take a look up underneath there. The finish work underneath is very nice. Is it absolutely breathtaking? No, but it's very nice. I've heard somebody say that these are the nostrils on the bill of a Pelikan, but because the Pelikan is an item or a bird that scoops fish out of the water, that's not actually accurate. And there's another name for the nostrils on some birds, but that's not what those are. They should be the eyes of the head of the Pelikan, because Pelikans themselves do not have those little nostril holes. But this is definitely shaped like the bill. Those are the eyes. This is what I would consider like the bent over portion of the head. The finial is a multiple layer textured and etched finial. It is beautiful. You can see right there, it's a single chick. Mother Pelikan feeding a single chick inside of a nest. I've got multiple other Pelikans. Depending on the age of your Pelikan, it's going to depend on how many chicks you've got. It's a gorgeous feature of the pen. They do that again on the nib. It is a gorgeous nib, and yes, take a look right there. What's that at the bottom? Do I dare say a B? Yes, it's a broad. Some people say, and I'm not talking about a female. Oftentimes I've been caught referring to somebody as a broad. I'm talking about an ink pen and tipping. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Sarcasm there for anybody that's stuck in the 30s. I love it. A lot of people will talk about how broad to begin with a medium from the German manufacturers are. This is an actual broad. You can see the tipping on there is heavy tipping. I genuinely was worried when I first got this pen that I had baby's bottom. Reality is I had manufacturing oils left over behind the pen, probably from the packaging. A good flush and this thing started writing perfect. But that being said, the inscriptions inside of the nib are gorgeous. You can see, again, a single baby chicken, the mother pelican. You can also see that it's an 18 karat. You can see right there, 18 karat dash 750. That's the quality of the metals. It's beautiful. The fit and finish is nice, but the threads are definitely a bit more pronounced than one of the sister companies. You can see the threads on that are significantly less prominent, and you do feel those less in your hand. Here's another Mont Blanc. You can take a look there. They're just not as aggressive as the Pelicans are. And then finally, what I consider a very good Japanese is this Pilot right here. It's a custom Heritage 912. It is nowhere near as aggressive as the Pelikan. The Pelikan's the most aggressive of the lot by far. Is that the end of the world? No. Do I notice it? Only the tiniest bit, and that's because I was looking for it. If somebody didn't ever say that to me, I probably would have never noticed. That's really what it comes down to. It is a brass piston pen that does give it a tail-heavy feel. I love the tail-heavy feel. A lot of other people do not, and that's fine. But I think that that's the way I like the feel of a pen. To each his own. Just getting all of my pens back into their correct caps before I make a mistake some way, somehow, would be not good. All right. So there we go. What else would I talk about? So we talked about the translucents. We talked about the precious material that it's made from. We talked about its price. No. How about this? I bought this. I'm going to call it a gray market pen. It did not come in the beautiful display box. It came in a little teeny tiny cardboard box, and I paid about $300 less. That's a lot of money. That's the amount I actually spent on this Mont Blanc. The entire pen. That's how much less I paid for this than buying it from, for instance, Goulet. I would have loved to have bought from Goulet. I would have loved to have bought from Applebaum or any of the other companies out there and got that gorgeous box. This is not meant to be poking the bear. I could buy that box for less than $30 online. It does not make it worth $300 extra. I'm sorry. We seem to have lost a little bit of touch there. I want to support a company, but when we're talking about the entire price of the pen was less than $400 and you want an additional $200 to $300 more, I can't do it. It's going to come from Amazon.de. That's where it's going to come from. That's in Germany for those that don't know. Amazon in Germany sells this exact same pen for that much less, without the beautiful, gorgeous display box that comes with it and without the tuning that comes from some of these other companies. But then again, a lot of people, when they get one of these, are like, no, I don't want it tuned. I don't want it test fit or anything. I want it immaculately virgin brand new. Some people don't even fill the pen. They only dip it once to try it and then they put it away. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use it weekly. I might even use it almost daily. So I wanted a pen that was going to basically be a bit less expensive, and I wouldn't feel horrible the first day this gets some sort of scratch, because it's not going to be some shelf queen. It's not going to sit in a drawer somewhere or a safe. It's going to be used on a daily basis. It is, as I said, a piston filler, so there's no converter inside of this bad boy. I did fill this with ink, so I'm not going to unthread this and show the brass threads that you can see inside of here. The finial is beautiful. The clip is magnificent. The only thing left to talk about is the way that it writes. So I will talk about the way that it writes, and I'm going to tell you, I like the pen. I don't love the pen. I like it, but I believe this is going to be a pen that absolutely 100% grows on me. I'm glad I went with the M800. I went with the M800 because I find that the 146 suits my hand better than the 149. And because of that, even though I'd never touched an M1000, I said M800 is a better comparison and it's going to fit me better. And I believe I was correct. When I grab this pen, it feels just right in the hand. A little tail heavy, which is exactly what I like out of this pen. It is super smooth, super gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful gold work. But as far as the nib, it's good. It's nice and fat, which is what I wanted. I will attempt to do all the same things I've done in some other items. You can see flex. I mean, you can see the tines flexing out. They are definitely flexy, but maybe because it's a broad, it just doesn't contract as much as you might have wanted it to contract. You can see I went all the way up to 90 degrees, no writing at 90, so don't anticipate that. As thin as I can go, getting thicker. How about if I hold the paper with my other hand, and then maybe we can get as thick as it's going to go, and upside down. Oh, well, I guess you're going to be able to write upside down if you want to. Maybe on some cheap paper at some point if it's near something else. Either which way, you can see in person, its initial writing was much darker, and then it nicely thins out and gives some shading while you're trying to do a little tiny bit of line variation. It's not as much as some other pens, but it is absolutely fantastic. Overall, I'm glad I have it. I won't be trying to replace it with something else as far as in the line of Pelikan. It is to replace my 140. I don't think I'm going to keep the 140. The 140 has some of the very best line variation out of my entire collection. That's the 140 right there. It goes from thick to thin. It does everything that you're trying to do, but it doesn't feel in my hand like this pen, and there's where I'm at. Again, greatly appreciate everybody that watches this stuff. Anybody that's making comments, thank you a ton. I greatly appreciate it. I get almost no thumbs up. I'm okay with that because I don't really do this to get like some sort of admonishment with a thumbs up. What I really give two craps about is somebody's getting something out of this. And when people are leaving comments, I know that they're getting something out of this. So we're going to just give you one more little view of the yellow Crocs creeping their way in and say thanks a ton for watching. Leave any comments that you've got. I'm happy to hit items that you think I'm wrong about or that you want contributed. People have actually in the past 2 weeks started leaving comments. I did a follow-up 2 videos ago. It was explicitly because of comments. I appreciate that. I appreciate what I learn from those comments. So thanks for your time.